Covenant Canon fans, and welcome to the first of many of the podcasts with we, the Covie Squad, talk about our favorite aspects of the Halo universe, our hopes for Halo Infinite, and show you our appreciation for some of our most talented fans. So, introductions are in order. I'm Nakai, the Kaidon and head of Covenant Canon.
And I'm Major Thesk, the ever-so-critical military man of Covenant Canon.
Hello guys, and welcome to the Monday podcast. This is Late Night Gaming Talk. I'm sorry. No. I've been planning this joke for too long. And I'm Drakel Studios, the more slim scientific individual of many a pod.
An absolute prankster.
Chaotic good for the win. I'm sorry. I know that probably messed up your plans, but I couldn't help it.
Well, remember, this podcast, we want to have a little bit of fun. This isn't like one of our scripted videos.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, but we do have a bit of an order to it, and I shall be giving out the marching orders. So today, we're going to be talking about Halo Infinite, the various news and leaks we've heard, along with, what we want to see and what we think is likely to happen, and hopefully we can answer, some of the questions you've asked us about what we want to see in that. And then at the very end of the podcast, of course, we will have our community spotlight and community Q&A, where we'll be featuring the various beautiful art pieces that you community members have made, along with answering some of the more off-topic questions.
Yeah.
Yeah. And seriously, feel free to ask whatever. Or hell, you could even ask us about personal stuff. You could ask us about the characters we voice act as. I know I quite enjoy that.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, so you can either ask us here on YouTube in the questions, or on our public Discord server, which the links will be in the description. Only rules we have are 3: no rudes, no lewds, no prudes. No rude questions that antagonize other community members. No lewds for, obvious reasons. We don't want to get demonetized here. And no prude...
We're not monetized in the first place!
I know, which would make it even worse! and of course, and then no prudes. No questions that involve, politics, religion, stuff that could get, stuff that could get under people's nerves.
Unless it's, the Covenant religion, Covenant politics.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Unless it's involved...
Unless it involves, Sangheili or Covenant politics, yeah, then we're all open for that.
Yeah.
What about Kikyar politics?
Okay, I know you've been looking forward to get back into that voice, but let's try and stay on topic for this part. Okay, here we go.
Yes.
Halo Infinite. So... what do you guys think? Should we go with the question that I think our audience is the most looking forward to, or should we kind of start with the very basics, like release date and all that?
Let's start with the basics.
Yeah,
let's retantalize our audience.
Yeah.
All right. So, in a few leaks given out, it's been revealed that the Halo Infinite will likely be releasing along with the new console brand coming at the end of 2020. So Halo will likely be a flagship for that console. However, from what I've read, we don't need to worry if you don't have the cash to get both Infinite and a new console. From what I've seen, it does seem like Infinite will still remain available on the Xbone, and crossing all 4 of my thumbs here. Hey, that's the name. Crossing all 4 of my thumbs. Hopefully, it will involve PC. Because the Master Race, I'm sorry, but you complain so much. I'm hoping you get this so I can just hear you shut up.
Yeah, honestly, since I would like to pay rent before I can play Halo Infinite.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, exactly.
Vodar is an expensive front.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's freezing as hell. But yeah, I honestly think we should, Master Chief Collection was kind of the flagship for the Xbox One X, or Xbox One. Sorry. I think it should also be on the Xbox One, just so people like us don't have to freaking bleed our cash dry just so we can play another awesome Halo game.
Yeah, exactly. And but at the same time, it is financially wise to make it a flagship.
Yeah.
And if you spread it to PC, I know my buddy, a fellow member of Draco Studios, he's a big PC nut, always PC master race. I know he will be quite happy once he sees, hey, finally, Halo on PC. Now I can continue to sit upon my golden throne.
Hey, I thought I had the golden throne.
My guess is, and I know people will complain about this, but my guess is that if they want more incentive to make it one of the flagship titles, because I'm guessing that there'll be, like, the exclusive title will be a different game entirely. And I don't think it'll be, like, Gears 4... Gears 4. I don't think it'll be Gears 5, nor Halo Infinite. It's probably going to be something else. But for those two games, since undoubtedly, you know, they're one of Microsoft's biggest titles, I'm thinking they're going to provide some sort of incentive, like maybe some sort of exclusive map, or, like, about, like, a year and a half early content to that.
Yeah.
Or even,
Which...
I don't know if you remember this, but back with Halo 2, they had those little Master Chief helmet headphones. Maybe they'll release it as a bundle or something?
Yeah. And,
Maybe.
I think they might also, like, have something like the Banished headset, like, for the big, fuck, I can't even remember what type those are.
Language.
Yes. All right, that is sin 1 for the heretical speech counter.
The guy put in the corner, you know too.
Dimitri, strike one against the Kaidan.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think
And let's
Now,
go
before-
the news. Sorry.
Right before we get into the let's just say potential playable customization that I know our fans are desperate to hear about, we have all of us are really. We have one more thing to talk about called the flighting system. So I'm directly quoting from Chris Lee here. The flighting program isn't like a beta, where it's a moment in time on Halo 5 like we had for a couple of weeks. We want to have a relationship, and we want to build that over time. We can have people coming, giving us feedback, and playing the experience, and we can update it as we go. So in my mind, this is more... I think this is what beta used to mean before we got into the modern day thing of where it's basically just showcasing the polished game before it's released. This is actually, going into the nitty-gritty and playtesting it, but with a wider audience, rather than just like a focus group.
Yeah. I think...
Thank goodness.
Yeah, I hope it's gonna be like... They're gonna give us the beta like they did with Halo 5, but instead of, it's just gonna be with the Master Chief Collection, it's gonna be for a wider variety of audience, like it used to back during the days of Xbox 360. And given to what Chris Lee is saying, it seems like we might, they'll actually hear us. They'll actually hear our voices and concerns, and give us and polish it to an actual great game, unlike what Halo has been in the past with the Master Chief Collection and Halo 5, unfortunately.
But can I say how awesome they've been doing it lately?
Oh yeah, definitely.
By Jury's divine wisdom. Holy crap!
Yeah. And I think those lessons they learned from Halo 5 and MCC is what spawned this flighting system.
Yeah. Jinx.
Like, people give 343 a lot of crap for, game designs and stuff like that, but I mean, we all got to remember that a lot of this stuff is a lot more complicated than we give it credit for. Like, for example, I recently picked up alright, I'm going to show my full weeb here. I picked up a little program from Steam called RPG Creator or something like that. Basically, it lets you create like a little 2D action, turn-based RPG game mechanic. And my goodness, is it overwhelming for friggin' me to understand. Now you apply that to an FPS on the same breed of Halo.
Yeah.
Like, there's going to be mistakes.
Oh, definitely.
And the issue, and a lot of issues that we see with like demos and betas and all that is like, people always say, they could do these massive changes in before. And I'm gonna unfortunately have to pull a horse that's walking into its grave right now. A game that I was looking forward to, but just not anymore. Total War 3 Kingdoms. Like, people have been seeing the beta and stuff like that on that, and they've seen the AI looks terrible on that game. And I'll explain why this is important to Halo Infinite in just a second. People are saying, oh no, they can fix the AI easily, but I honestly doubt it, just because you look at the AI and you can just tell that the AI it isn't looking at everything as an army. It's like it's looking at everything as an individual unit. Like, for example, it will charge light cavalry into a massive line of spearmen supported by archers. And as soon as they get hit by arrows, the AI starts freaking out and turning around, but then as soon as it gets a certain distance away, it goes running back in. See, that stuff cannot be fixed within a few months. With Halo Infinite, I think this gives an opportunity for them to not only, gauge our enjoyment of the game, but also to catch issues as they come up. Because, in playtesting terms, both in-house and with research groups, they can do a certain amount of stuff and, they can catch a few bugs, but they can't catch everything. If they distribute it to a wider audience, as with this, they're going to be catching a lot more of those bugs and hiccups than they would give credit for, just in their own terms.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Throw the gremlins out of the system.
Yeah.
Exactly. Alright, I think that's enough waffling on about the flighting system. I'm really excited to see how this is going, and for those who don't know, I don't think they've given out a confirmed date of when this is starting, but I wouldn't be surprised if it would be closer towards the end of this year, since Infinite is likely to be the autumn after next.
Not to mention the news that Halo Infinite will be at E3 this year.
Yes,
oh yes,
I'm more excited for that.
We forgot to mention that. Yeah. So this whole podcast, this whole podcast is definitely. It's no coincidence we decided to really set this up after we heard news of Infinite coming out at E3, because we want to inform you before then. And not to mention, we forgot to mention this at the beginning. How heretical of us. But today
Heretical
in the
fiction, maybe.
But today in the fiction was the birthday of the demon, the Master Chief.
Demon.
So, hey, I'm a Covenant fan, but I still love the Chief, so this goes out to you, big man.
Yeah, me too.
Steve Downs, thank you for giving this guy life, and thank you all the writers for giving the Chief awesome factor.
Yes.
Still prefer Felvadam. Meet me then I'll be celebrating a birthday.
Swords of St. Hero's birthday, all the way.
Okay, and with that, now we get to the juicy meat that our audience is definitely wanting to hear.
It's gonna be
customization.
juicy.
Yes.
Yes, customization.
Alright, so
You
first
guys?
off the bat, in regards to what our audience wants to hear, playable elites.
Please!
Yes,
They're not
playable elites.
They're not confirmed. They're not confirmed, mind you. But neither were they denied. In a social stream that, most every other Halo YouTuber has covered by now, but we're doing it towards you because we're hoping that you are good, loyal subscribers, and you ignore them and only watch us.
Yes.
Yes.
We are right and they are wrong.
The brain parasites are working.
Well, yeah, but, so in a social stream, Sketch saw a question about playable elites, and he said that will be the outside of the scope of what we'll be discussing today, but we appreciate your perseverance. And we haven't heard any more word of that for ever since then.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like didn't sound like they confirmed nor deny it. So there is hope. There is hope.
Yes.
Because if they were to kind of deny it, I think they would kind of pull the same.
Yeah, they would.
I don't
pull
want to
the
use the
same
word
shtick
excuse.
like they did in the past, like with Halo 4 and 5.
Strike 2 for the Canon! But like, for example, what Grim Brother 1, Grim, I love you, but you do say this quite a bit. But whenever the question about playable elites was brought up, they'd give reasons about resource management and the understandable reason that like the elite models in Halo 4 and 5 are much bigger than the Spartans, and you can totally see it because like in Halo 2 Anniversary, the model they use is pretty much the same phenotype, and it is massive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Still fun though.
Yeah.
So, in regards to this point, if playable elites were to come back, what do you guys think you would want to see with them?
I think
You wish Nakai.
I think we should have him like in a different, sort of like how we have him. Let me see if I can think about this. Like have it like we can have all the phenotypes that we had in the past games, like starting from Reach, the H2A, and then the Halo 4/5, just so everyone can have their, I don't know, their kind of, their choosing of playable elites. Because I've seen so much of people hate on the Halo 4 and 5 elites, and I'm not one of them. I love them.
And that's fair, Nakai. Unfortunately, you were wrong and I hate you. No.
That's pretty much the entire fan base.
Yeah, alas. But no,
So,
yeah, I totally...
Well, go ahead, Draco. We've been talking over you for the most part. You go ahead, give your piece.
Thank you. Yeah, I'd say on the subject of phenotypes, I'd see like an extra customization slot. And even for someone like me, like I love a lot of aspects of most of the designs of the elites. Like for example, the Halo Reach Sangheili. I like the way their legs and body shape sort of work out. With H2A, I love the style of the head. Halo 3, I love their expressive eyes, and I just, if I could, it's probably maybe asking a bit too much, but I'd like to see it as sort of like, okay, head choice, you can sort of mix and match, but to a degree. More customization options, the better, in my humble opinion.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, so my part, so I'm gonna have to be the Debbie Downer in this case, in that more for, and this is actual, like, legit resource reasons, I suspect that if playable elites were to come back, we'd only be seeing one phenotype. And I have a theory that's probably going to be the one that's kind of been popping up more recently now. It's more of a slimmed down, sleeker version of the Halo 5 and 4 one, which, like, we can see, like, you can see it in the cutscene, in one of the cutscenes for Halo Wars 2. I suspect they might go with something like that, something that's a bit smaller, just to fit it closer to the Spartan size.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think I know what you're talking about, when Jerome goes on the Enduring Convictions and just wastes those elites.
Yeah.
That poor bridge crew.
Yeah.
A little bit over there, a little bit over there, a little bit up there.
Yeah. So I suspect that's what they're going to be doing, and there's not going to be any real variations in head types, because especially for helmets, like I think it would either go two ways. If they do implement different head types, then they would have severe restrictions on what helmets can be worn. So I can't imagine that, say, if you like one certain helmet and you like one certain head, they couldn't go together. Instead, it would just kind of be across the board, the helmet and the head come as a package deal.
Yeah.
Which, at that point, I would prefer if they just stuck with whatever new phenotype they were to introduce, just so that the resources can be better.
Yeah.
And speaking of the armor, and this kind of extends into what we hope for the Spartans as well, just kind of overall. I don't want to see a return of the Halo 5 or Reach style of customization where, like with Reach, it's just one loadout. Or with Halo 5 where it's just body and helmet.
Yeah.
At the very least, at the absolute least, I'd love to see a Halo 3 style, where it's the head, body, and both shoulders.
Yeah, same here.
At most, I would hope it would be the amount of, like, body parts as Halo 4. Yes. I know everybody hammers on Reach, and believe me, I do believe Reach should be inspired, but if we're talking about, like, the sheer amount of, like, different body parts that can have different armor plates, 4 is better than Reach in that regard.
Exactly.
Nothing, like, say what you will about those Spartan armors in Halo 4 versus Reach, just the options for each body part of the body.
Yeah, the options were great.
Spectacular.
It's just the armor pieces were just, ugh.
And dare I say, actually, the unlocking process was somewhat interesting with 4. Like how, like, you could, if you wanted certain armor pieces or armor skins even, you had to complete commendations. I quite like that.
Yeah. We'll talk about that in the what we want to see, which will go in regards to that
later.
But other than that, I just hope that some amount of like switching and matching armor pieces would be available, and also
Yes.
a female body type.
Yes.
Like we've seen it with Spartans, and
Yes.
I don't think it'd be too difficult to pull through, because like female Sangheli do appear to be fairly similar in body type. Like it seems they still have kind of a overtly feminine look, like as we've seen from artwork of Tuljaron and her banging booty.
Yeah, booty.
Oh, I'm
Booty.
sorry. Oh, God.
Booty.
And now a strike
of heresy for the major.
No, but
Oh, goodness.
yeah, the Sangheli theme, like from what we saw from Tuljaron, she seems to be looking similar, but if not in a slimmer sense of a Sangheli, if that makes any sense.
Yes.
And we already see that with female Spartans, so
Yeah, so it wouldn't
like-
be that difficult. I
hopefully,
And also,
hopefully.
I think the voice would be interesting to try
Yeah.
as well, like in multiplayer.
Yeah,
yeah.
That could potentially be.
hopefully better than Maki Chava's.
No offense, I love Maki Chava as a character. The little bits we get, but her voice is a little.
She sounds like a granny. Let's be real.
Yeah,
And this is the tale of Grandma Vadam.
yeah. I think they should have it kind of like how they did Low Off Topic. They should do it like I don't know if any of you guys watch Star Trek Discovery, like they did with one female Klingon Laurel. Like they should have it like a Sangheli female sounding like that. Like that would be awesome, in my opinion.
I do not watch Star Trek, so I can't put a comment here.
At the very least, I do think a female Sangheli voice would have a bit more either gruffness or a little bit more bass to it. Because remember, even a Sangheli female, she's about at least she's about 7 foot. That is a big creature. Right.
And then you got nut jobs like Repo Morumi.
But yeah. And I will say, when I say I want female Sangheli, I'm not going. Nobody dare try and say, "Oh, SJW stuff." It's just like, it's just for customization sake. Plus, machinima.
Yes, think of the machinima.
Yes.
Oh, I hope-
Think
my God,
machinima.
I want machinima.
The
Whenever it
machinima
comes to
opportunities.
Whenever it comes to customization, remember, customization and machinima go hand in hand.
Exactly.
Yes.
And to wrap up this bit on customization, we did get a few more details from the social stream that armor customization is hinted at to be similar to Reach. No formal confirmation, though. So I do suspect that there will be a bit more involved customization than Halo 5 was.
Oh yeah, I hope so.
And
Yeah.
to hit home on the friggin' meme in the community, black undersuits confirmed.
Oh.
Oh wait, no, I don't care.
Yeah. I honestly
I can
don't
hear
care
all the
either,
hate mail
honestly.
coming through my window.
I don't
Oh,
care.
look, my grandmother's head.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Also, just sneaking this in quick to make sure everybody's listening. 4-player split screen confirmed.
Oh yes. Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
Finally.
Just imagine that smiling crocodile meme for me. Just
Yeah.
that is a happy Drakel.
Yeah. And now we get to the more controversial, or not really controversial, but like the more interesting leaks that we've heard. So, this was a while back, like a couple months ago. There was a job posting on Halo Waypoint, I believe, looking for a senior system designer, one requirement being familiarity with RPG and shooter mechanics. And then through a recent leak, we got the news that, what was it?
There might be RPG-esque.
Yeah, that apparently 343 wants to make the story adaptive to the choices the user makes, and there will be other customization RPG elements. Now, I've seen a lot of people instantly go, Halo is becoming Destiny!
Or Mass Effect.
Or Mass Effect, which I don't agree with either.
Yeah. I want that.
So,
I could see it going either like in the direction like Titanfall's campaign went out like it. I don't think it's going to be like super RPG like how Mass Effect is. I think it's going to be just going like in simple narrative directions like during in-game like Titanfall did.
And to specify, we are talking about the single-player campaign in regards to this. My belief is, and I'm hoping this is the case, I think a nice way to go about this for Halo would be a Wolfenstein-esque sort of approach, specifically New Order. Like, it did have, it had some RPG elements in the case that, if you performed certain actions, like, you know, you did this number of stealth kills, you did this number of grenade kills, stuff like that, you would get perks throughout the campaign that, like, made it easier, like, for example, in the beginning, you can only carry a certain number of grenades. You get a certain number of grenade kills, or multi-kills, you get an extra grenade slot, so to speak.
And actually, yeah, I'm a similar vein as you, but also with sort of that Doom flavor, maybe. Like how you could have those little weapon mods and character upgrades.
And that's actually in Wolfenstein as well, like...
Oh, neat.
But it's different.
Wolfenstein.
But it's quite different from Doom, because in Doom, you know, it's kind of a more open-level design, and you can obviously tell where the weapon upgrades are, because you see the little floating robots that are carrying it. In Wolfenstein, you know, the weapons or gear that you get are already in the level.
Yeah, they're just more subtle about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Never played...
My belief, though, is, like, in Wolfenstein... The issue is with Wolfenstein. You know, in Wolfenstein, you can carry more than one item. In Halo, you know, we're traditionally linked to just two.
Yeah.
I don't believe they're going to be abandoning that two-weapon limit. But one thing I do think is that maybe, just maybe, aside from the perk system I mentioned, if they want to implement, say... Like, a lot of the mechanics they got from the rec weapons. I imagine they might introduce that. Like, say... Maybe there's a hidden area where that contains a special assault rifle magazine. So you get that, and your magazine level is now 3 times as large, or twice as large.
Yeah.
Stuff like
or
that.
Even like maybe even the rec, like how they had in Halo 5, where you would find the rec weapons. You could find them in the levels.
Yeah, I have no doubt they're still going to keep rec weapons, because that was just a really cool idea.
Yeah,
and
like, despite how they were implemented, I'd like to see them return.
Same here, yeah.
And also, again, sorry, I'm going back to one of your older points. That's think of the machinima.
True. Although, in regards to the what I said about the perk system, I don't think that would appear at all.
Alright.
Yeah.
And in regards, and then I know a lot of people, especially a lot of the lore community and the, well, to be perfectly blunt, Forerunner elitists have been absolutely freaking out about the idea of you know, player actions impacting the story. I've even seen some people just basically say Halo is dead because they're no longer going to be, you know, having a story that they want to tell, which, let's be honest, it's more the story that those particular fans want to happen, and they just assume that that's 343's vision. No hate to you guys. Believe me, I love your passion, but I really do think you're just ringing the doomsday bells for no good reason.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's just one line of a leak. That's it. No other context. We don't know anything because, you know, 343's been being pretty smart and being pretty quiet about Infinite. My belief is it's not gonna have any impact on, like, the story from level to level. Like say if in the beginning of the mission you have the choice to go destroy, let's go with the classic, you know, destroy that AA gun.
Yeah.
I don't believe it's gonna end up in a mission. The mission story could end up where you don't destroy the AA gun, and it's like, I don't know, you find another way past it. Like, it's not gonna be anything like that. And definitely for the main story stuff involving Chief, Cortana, and all that sort of stuff, I don't think it's gonna involve anything like that. What I do think is gonna happen is that it's gonna be more like stuff you can do in the level. Say, you know, more options in how you approach the level. So instead of going like, okay, you need to destroy the AA gun by blasting it in the, you know, video game boss weak spot, instead maybe instead maybe on the other side of the level, through some very tough fighting, you find a Covenant, on like a downed Covenant ship, and the plasma cannons are still working. So instead of trekking all the way through the level, you can just get in the Covenant plasma cannon and blast it from across the map.
Yeah, so they might just have it like you can have different ways of going about of completing a mission, which won't affect the story at all, pretty much.
Yeah, like say in Halo CE where you're at the when you're trying to access the silent cartographer, or say in Halo 5 where you do those weapon down missions, you can sort of go around and do what certain people ask in different orders.
At most, I would hope that they would also include different dialogue to this, because in my mind that would justify more the use of the word story rather than just saying level approach. Like imagine if say Maki, we'll just use Maki because she is the easiest one to use. Maybe she's gives you instructions on like approaching the. We'll go back to the example I said, approaching the AA gun. But then you go into the Covenant ship, and she basically goes, "Spartan, what are you doing?" And then you activate the plasma cannon, and she's like, "What? Clever human." You blast it, and then as the mission's ending, in kind of like a wrap-up dialogue, rather than the next cutscene, she basically goes, "I think many of our soldiers could learn from such ingenuity."
Yeah, like stuff that... like minor dialogue that won't
minor stuff.
Yeah.
And even if some people would say that still is going a bit far, especially if they're like, they need to have every amount of lore like detailed perfectly, and if there's different approaches, they will just basically go like, it is not a linear line, like that. I honestly don't think it would be that much of an issue, because it's like for Halo 5, everybody brings up specific dialogue with Tanaka. If you listen for Tanaka in some levels, you really do hear her flesh out. Well, what if you played through the game but you didn't get to that certain point and you continued on? In the sense of that game, that dialogue through that playthrough didn't exist at all. Right. Same concept could kind of be applied with the idea that of the different approaches. Like, all of those could exist, but none of them exist until you play it. And then for the actual canon, well, let's be fair, Halo has never been, except for in novels, Halo's never been really... It's never really been one for details in regards to the actual details of battles.
Yeah.
Much to my annoyance...
Yeah, like...
Hey, I love war, I love military stuff. Give me those sweet details.
The taste of details.
Believe me, I would love to do hour-long videos on just one battle in an entire conflict on a planet from Halo, much like with some channels that do Warhammer 40k lore. But 343, you need to give me that material to work with.
We need the information. We need the knowledge.
I require knowledge.
So then,
like, for example, let's say sometimes with certain armor sets, why don't you give us more information?
Oh, goodness.
Combat harness video.
Although I won't deny, that was a rewarding experience.
Hells yeah. Oh, hells yeah. It was therapeutic.
Yes.
Alright, so then, now that we talked about the single player, what do you think the RPG system, the RPG elements could involve in regards to multiplayer? My honest belief is that it's either two things. Either A, loadouts are coming back, which...
Yeah,
I'm okay with them in custom games. That's where I'm okay with them.
Yeah, custom games, it seems okay, but when it comes to multiplayer, it's like treading on the Call of Duty level, like Halo 4 did.
We do not speak of that worm.
Now, I know I've been talking a lot, but if you'll amuse me here, this particular point, so I don't know where I heard this, so everybody, take this more than anything we've talked about with huge amounts of grains of salt. Just like, unscrew the cap on that thing and just pour it all over the wound. I don't know where I heard this, but I remember, I think it was around the time that, I don't think it was the time that I actually went to PAX with a lot of the Halo community, which I live right next door to 343. Neener, neener, neener. I can visit them whenever I want to. Actually, no, I can't. I can't visit them whenever I want to because I'm still a scrub.
Well, you see,
Like-
that's where you're. You see, I keep telling you, you gotta use my matter transference device. It only will sometimes forget to rearrange your arm in the right place.
Oh, goodness. But, anyway, so, on topic, staying on topic. I don't know where I heard this, but I remember hearing that the lobby, like the multiplayer lobbies, will be replaced with, like, small open world areas unique to your Spartan company.
Or maybe
Like,
Elite Company.
apparently-
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Just point is, to your multiplayer group.
Yeah.
Now, the exact mechanics of this, I don't understand, but, like, apparently it would be like prefab stuff, and that as your Spartan company, won group achievements, more, I guess, cool, interesting stuff would become available in there, and apparently there would also be, like, random AI spawns outside of the base for you to fight while you wait for more people in your lobby.
If that is to exist, I actually think that would be pretty cool. And
Yeah.
also,
I'd be kind of open to something like that.
It'd be great for machinima.
And I could imagine a lot of RPG-style elements being put in there, but I'm not entirely sure, like, how much. Like, another game that does this, Warframe, it has clan dojos, which you can build. The clan can build, although it does use microtransactions, so I'm hoping Infinite doesn't use that. We'll get to that. We'll get to that in a bit.
Oh, good. Let me just get my Drakel wine ready for this.
But in that game, they usually have different events, and stuff that clans can participate in, and depending on how much of the achievement percentage a clan gets, they can build a trophy, or they can build, like, something within their clan dojo that when people go there, or, new people come in, they can see the prestige that the clan has earned.
Get Vodar up and running, folks. You know
Now
what
the
you
issue,
have to do.
now the issue I see with this is that that's pretty much the only thing I can really see I really don't know what else to call it, but just kind of like a alternative lobby system working is that it would basically allow you to just, run around, goof off, see the achievements your clan has done, and maybe shoot some AI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, my question on that would be, though, like, I'm not against the idea. I think that could be pretty fun, just goofing off while you wait for a match. But then that leads me to wonder, okay, then how long would the wait times for each match be?
Yeah.
Especially since the game would also be rendering the base mechanics, just that small little area for you to play around in, alongside linking you up to other players and all that.
Yeah.
It could work. I have no idea, but that's the one thing I would be concerned about. And again, we don't know if this is a thing, but if it is a
Take
thing,
this with every grain of salt.
I'm
you can
hoping-
muster.
I'm
Go to the
hoping
nearby sodium mine.
I'm hoping it doesn't mean any issues for matchmaking.
Yeah.
And with that, we've just kind of wandered around and just talked about all the news that we currently have. There's probably some details we missed and all that, but
We suck
I'm
at
sure-
our jobs.
we suck at our jobs. This is our first podcast. We're going to be doofs in the first podcast, of course, as you can tell by constantly getting off topic and all that crap.
Welcome to the maiden voyage, ladies and gents.
Alright, so now comes the juicy bits. A little bit more each
It's
person.
gonna get
so,
juicy.
So, in regards to Halo Infinite, and we can of course talk about any of the stuff we talked about in the news. What do we want to see? Like, what's our utmost hope? And what do we think will realistically happen? No negatives, mind you. We want to be positive on this.
Yes.
Just what do you
We
think
will
would
be-
realistically happen?
We will be the cinema wins of Halo lore YouTube.
Yes, there'll be nothing but positives here. Anyone gives out negatives, they get a brand of heretics.
No. They visit the lab.
Oh no! To be sodomized by a battle cactus.
Yes! Oh, I can't wait till we explain that later in the Q&A.
Oh yeah, just wait, people. The battle cactus cometh.
Hearing you say that just made my day.
Alright.
Alright,
So,
anyways.
Nakai, as you know, as our glorious overlord of the channel, you go first.
Hail
What do you want
the
to see,
Emperor!
and what do you want to see, and what do you think will realistically happen?
My main hope is that, well, of course everyone else here wants playable elites. Yes, playable elites. I think it's still plausible that it can still happen. Granted, if they do it like in a sort of like Thess said earlier, in a reach customization, but well, more than a Halo 3 type customization, but in kind of a format kind of similar to Halo Reach. At worst, I think it's gonna be kind of like how Halo Reach was, oh shit.
Just like, you know, just have like static loadouts.
Yeah, like static loads in terms of armor and all that. But in my honest opinion, I really would hope to have it in a customization, like with numerous eras, like with such, say for example, like the armors we covered in our combat harness video, like the miner harness, the officer harness, the ultras, and all that. Kind of like how the rec system did. Well, not entirely like the rec system, but like give us specific helmets and armor pieces for the game.
Iconic characters.
Yes.
Oh no, sorry, I'm saying it wrong.
Iconic characters.
Oh god, our ears. But I would like to see, one thing I would like to see if we get playable elites is if we get like kind of like how the Mark 5 armor was in, or Mark 6 armor, I can't really remember. For
The human set.
yes, the human set for Halo 4, when you play it on Legendary and you get like the Master Chief style armor for Halo 4. But in Halo Infinite, if you beat the game like on, say, Legendary, you get like the H2A Arbiter armor, or the Halo 5 Arbiter armor, which I would love to see.
Ooh. Oh wait, here's an idea. So like, sorry to interrupt, but like, what if it's like you play it on Legendary solo, you get the Master Chief armor, but if you play it on Legendary with co-op, kind of referencing Halo 3, then you get Arbiter armor if the elites are in there.
Also, if that is a thing, we have to try and stream. We will stream a Legendary campaign.
I will definitely fail at that.
Oh, we all will, son. Oh, we all will, Bucko. Don't you worry about it.
Yeah. Alright, so anything else then, Nakai?
I think
Like about the story or multiplayer game customization, just stuff, that sort of thing.
With multiplayer, if playable elites do return, I think the playable elites should be segregated off to a invasion or dominion type mode, like we did in Halo Reach and 4 respectively, or just have it segregated off to the customization, or the custom games, I mean. Oh my god, I can't speak. But
these mandibles are not good for speaking English.
But yeah, like have like the playable elites segregated off from competitive matchmaking, just so it doesn't provide headaches for we lovable split jaws or hinge heads.
Rude monkeys.
But what do you guys think?
I'm pretty on board with that.
Draco?
I like it. Yeah, although I do have some ideas of my own for hopes with Halo Infinite, of course. That's just what this section is about. Way to reiterate that, Draco. Anyways,
I do agree with the elite, that level of elite customization, and have sections where make it any armor customization. Make it possible you get it through achievements, leveling up, and commendations. And if we unfortunately, one of us should bring up the dreaded microtransactions. Sorry, I need a drink.
The bane of all gaming existence.
Yes, but anyways, if we have to have those, make it so then we still unlock the base armors, but then through, let's say, a rec-esque system, we can unlock different armor skins, or, combat harness skins. And say, we could have, let's say kill 10 people in active camouflage would give you the Halo 4 Zealot armor. But if you wanted, you could get a skin of it through the microtransaction system to have it look like something from Salinion's Covenant. Or Julundama's Covenant. And sort of like that little bit of, just in case, you can still earn the base armors, and if you want the skins, then the microtransactions are available to you with both an in-game currency and micropayments. Yeah.
Alright.
And then, level up, plus commendations, plus achievements, and microtransactions for skins. Then in terms of multiplayer, I'd like to see you have competitive, where it's just Spartans for you competitive elitists out there. And then have it in all social, and then in all social game modes, have it so playable Sangheili are there. Since, honestly, playing on Reach lately, I never get to see my Sangheili. Since now, unfortunately, you only see 3 players in Invasion now, and that's not enough to start a game. So... Yeah, Invasion was the only thing I played. But since, I hated always having to, with the main social playlist, you boot it up, and you see the option, Playable Elites! I'm the only one voting for it. Consistently, I'm always the only one voting for it. It's every time, we're on Boardwalk. It's Boardwalk. It's Boardwalk. It's the Cage. Make it so then the multiplayer, make the whole social game mode. The elites are allowed. Competitive, straight up Spartans. And then you got custom games, of course, elites everywhere. They're at all possible. Then in terms of story, my hopes for story... I want to see Ratas Vadum. I miss him.
Yes.
Yeah.
The half jaw, we miss him.
Yeah.
And I would also like to see, probably not realistically, they're probably not gonna bring them back, but Unto Sram and Uze Taham.
Uze Taham. Yeah, I'd love to see that. In the story, I'd at least get references of them. Maybe have a mission where we're trying to storm this. Let's say, almost something like in Halo 3's The Storm. We just sort of see them out at the beginning of the level. We sort of come across. Sort of as our commanders of this, we see Uze Taham among the crowd, and just oh yes, I remember you from the Ark, and now we're going to invade this base or something, I don't know. I want to see bits of them like that, and honestly, I want the created defeated in the next game. I want them kicked out as soon as possible.
Yeah.
I don't want the sparkly robots.
Oh goodness, that's going to trigger quite a few people with that opinion. You're going to have people praising Draco. You are brave and wise. And you're going to have some people just absolutely screaming at you.
Yes.
You're going to be very
Wait,
controversial.
I can already hear a plasma mortar coming through my keep. Well, I'm so sorry, guys. It's been nice knowing you. Good job.
So, my turn.
Yes.
So, in regards to story... I'm actually open to pretty much anything they want to sell here. It's on presumably Zeta Halo. I know some people will be like, no, it is on Zeta Halo. But here's the thing I will always live by. Just because marketing hints at something doesn't mean it's going to be 100% true.
Halo 5! I'm getting
Yeah, okay,
Oh,
yeah.
sorry.
Like,
Sorry.
yeah,
I had
like,
something
I am pretty confident we're going to spend a lot of time on Zeta Halo, if that is the Halo reign we're being shown. But I'm always open to the idea that it could change. But in regards to the actual story part, I'm not against the more simple story. I'm not. Like, just more simple story of, think of it as more of a military term, kind of get people. Like, soldiers, for the most part, they don't know the full details of what the heck is going on. Like, Halo 5 kinda did this, but at the same time, it did, like, I don't know. It felt a little bit more like what we see with most action movies, where you're given a simplified version of the logistics and plans that the people get down. For Halo Infinite, I'm hoping that most of the story will be told more so as Chief as a soldier. Like, Halsey isn't going to bog down the Spartans with, I need this to implement this, and I need this to enter the Quartercum of Flirty Blurgiter. Or whatever.
Yeah. I don't need I need you to get this MacGuffin, that way I can do the thing that way that stops the bad guy.
Yeah, basically.
I need 33 cc's of MacGuffin stats.
Yeah. But then in regards to the world, like the exploration, I'm hoping that's where more of the expanded universe or extra story bits are shown, like audio logs, or maybe even if the levels are a lot more open, maybe we come across AI with unique dialogue. Like, not the kind of dialogue that is like, I would have been your daddy, Skull, but more story-driven dialogue, like, say...
Maybe finding Stolt.
Stolt, yeah, maybe. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
And audio logs, of course. Audio logs are always welcome.
Yes, we need audio logs.
Terminals. I hope they bring back terminals.
Terminals, I'm mixed on terminals. On one hand, I think... No, here's the thing. If they do terminals, it should be about the history of Zeta Halo.
Yeah.
Like that's what it'd be. In regards to audio logs, I think... In regards to audio logs, just keep it very light on any of the Forerunner stuff. Like, the terminals will be the ones, because... Think about it this way, audio logs are kind of, they're a current thing. They are... they are recordings of the now. Whereas a terminal would be kind of almost like cracking open a relic from the past. You discovered this hidden archive. And it doesn't reveal its secrets to you at first. You need to go through, like, menus and, click to watch there. And that's another thing. If terminals come back, no Halo channel, please. It is so clunky to use.
God, that channel is just an abomination.
Keep it in-game, please. Keep it in-game.
I will pay someone to make sure this doesn't happen.
Other than that, obviously, fitting in with my online persona, give us some good military grit to the story.
Yes, military.
Like ease down on the Forerunner MacGuffins and phenomenon, oh my goodness, this tower is now changing, it is now turning into a Hasbro copyright infringement. Like, ease up on that and go more for, first platoon, advance, artillery, open fire.
Yeah, kind of like how Halo Reach did it.
And same thing with the with the Swords of Helios, same with the Covenant. Like, the first level of Swords of St. Helios.
Yes.
There's actually, if you actually stop and look around, if you don't get caught up in, the whole rush to save the Arbiter, like, go, 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 go. There's a lot of military sort of esque battle storytelling all over the place.
Yeah.
And not to mention also, sorry, I have to say this while I have the chance now. Tell the story like you did with Halo 5's St. Helios section. That was the best part of the game. That's the only part of the campaign I ever play.
Same here.
Same here. In regards to, but other than that, I'm pretty much open for pretty much anything they want to tell in the story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in regards, in regards to the Prometheans, because they will be the biggest thing. Like, we don't need to talk about Covenant, because even though some people say they don't want them back, no, Covenant are coming back. They are a core part of Halo.
Yes.
Well, at least the Covenant species are coming back.
Yeah.
But in regards to the Prometheans, I'm happy with the direction the Knights and the Crawlers have gone for. Like, the Crawlers... Although I think the Crawlers should be a little bit squishier. Yeah. And they're
it's kind of difficult to kill them in Halo 5? Or is that just because I suck?
I don't know. Like, if you're using standard weapons and non-headshot style weapons, they can be surprisingly tanky. Like, I don't know the exact numbers. One of you viewers who is like big into the gameplay, tell us the time to kill between an average grunt and an average crawler. Go ahead and tell us that in the comments, please. You'll get a feature in the next podcast we do.
Yes. We will put you on this nice little throne I set over here. Don't mind the fact that it's in a gas chamber.
Oh, please, no.
No, it's just testing aphrodisiacs.
But anyway, like, if the crawlers were a bit squishier and their weapons didn't track as much, I'd be okay with them. Knights, I'm actually entirely okay with how they are. They're good sort of mid-level tanks.
Except my main issue, they're now computers instead of being humans.
Yeah, that does kind of take away from the impact of them. Anyway, my biggest issue, of course, is the soldiers. Just, the whole teleporting ability is
annoying.
Annoying. Like, yeah. I'd say do something. I don't know how they can do this, but give it a little special something. Like say right at, like, in that square moment before, as the Promethean, you see his silhouette before it turns into a little ball of light. Maybe if you hit that, like, get a headshot in there, you basically knock him out of his teleport, and it stuns him for quite a reasonable amount of time, giving you more options to, shoot the bastard. Score one for Thess. Yes. One sin for Thess. And other than that, of course, vehicles. Some form of Forerunner vehicles besides the Phaeton, would be appreciated.
Yes.
I don't know how it could be, and it could possibly, again, bloat the weapons and vehicle pool, as we've seen with a lot of weapons, but I do think variety, at least for campaign and custom game stuff, is needed.
Yeah. And, like, for example, like, a little idea I had for the Forerunner tank, like, make it sort of a charge shot weapon, almost.
Yeah, kind of
like a railgun.
Yeah, like a railgun or a Spartan laser.
Yeah. And that would kind of fit the sci-fi triumvirate of tanks. We got the motor with the Wraith, we got the direct shot with the Scorpion, and then we get the railgun with a Forerunner tank.
Exactly.
Yes.
I like that idea.
Like, sort of make it a laser tank. Like, almost think like the Hannibal Scorpion was what I'm sort of thinking.
Yeah. But now in regards to multiplayer. So you guys have pretty much said everything I want to say about playable elites. Like, I agree with most of everything you say. I do want to see that. My hope, though, is that I'm okay with not being in like, traditional, ranked matchmaking. The one thing I would want to play as an elite is in some sort of PvE mode, like firefight.
Yeah.
I think it could be done. I honestly think it could be done. Like, I know some people would say, well, what if I have this really powerful weapon that I save my rec points for, and I shoot at an elite, but then it's an ally, and I don't do any damage to him? I just waste my ammo. Well, to be perfectly blunt, you learn from that. You learn that the elites who look very different, who aren't as well animated, and have a friggin',
different armor set, freaking colors.
Not just that, but like a different, like, they have a friggin' player logo above their head. Gee, I don't think I should be shooting at that thing.
Well, gee, what do I shoot at? Do I shoot at the ally who's a rainbow-colored mess, or do I shoot this zealot in active camouflage?
Or do I shoot the Storm Elite that I've been shooting like hundreds of times? I wonder which I should choose. Yeah, because see, that's, to be honest, that's the kind of mode that I actually played a lot of in Halo 5. Is Warzone firefight. Just, I love PvE, and it would be just wish fulfillment to just be like, playing as Sangheili, fight alongside Spartans, and taking down Covenant and Prometheans, and oh, I didn't even mention these, but maybe Flood?
Yeah, later. Don't worry.
So,
we'll get to that soon.
I'm just gonna say this though, folks. I'm just gonna say this, folks, in regards to that. I do hope the Parasite returns. However, and this is kind of going into what we realistically think, Yamas. I don't think they're going to appear in campaign, and I'm not even going to bother to put that in hopes. What I do hope is that they're in some sort of, like, firefight mode.
Or maybe even like a the Awakening the Nightmare sort of side thing.
That's essentially what I said. Ignore that!
Not again!
So with that alarm actually going off, we need to start picking up things and wrapping things up.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Alright, so then, yeah. So in regards to what will realistically happen, in regards to just, like, microtransactions, because we need to bring that up in customization, I'm combining this as a hope and realistic thing, because I don't think this is too out of the way. I think what they're going to do is they're going to separate the armors into different tiers. Like, hear me out. They're going to have a lot of the, basic armors be in a pool that is either... I think it's going to kind of be like Titanfall, in a way. You can either buy them outright, or you grind levels to, each time you level up, you get one. That way, it's, like... And it's not going to be achievements, I don't believe. Because here's the thing. Microsoft has been getting really big in the whole idea of accessibility, and... Let's face it, those with physical or mental disabilities, they're not going to be able to reach those very major, like, the more intricate style of achievements as they were in the game. Like, for example, in Halo 3, how you got the aesthetic armor, the whole Bull Rush achievement.
Oh, it was difficult, but it was therapeutic at the end there.
It was, but... Still, I think for the most basic armors, like what we would okay, what do I mean when I say basic? I'm talking like Hazop, ODST, that sort of thing. I think that's going to be put within the sort of like quote normie pile. And it would be, and I do believe if this is microtransactions, it'll be like a store where you can actually look and buy each of them. I think this is good business sense. I think this is good business sense for Microsoft and 343. At least I'm hoping, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, 343.
Please.
That in regards to customization of the character, they'll put that in like an actual microtransaction store. And they'll leave like rec weapons and all that sort of thing within the rec cards if those abominable things are coming back. Because it would honestly be a much better system to where you keep the player customization stuff in a different area, and then the RNG, one-use sort of things are within the, well, loot boxes.
Yeah.
However, I don't think that means we're not going to see the end of any achievement sort of unlocks at all. In regards to armor, I think they're only going to give the, the actual, almost iconic weaponry, like, say... Chief's armor, Arbiter's armor, if elites come back. Recon! Like, those will probably... Those will probably make up the actual, like, achievement-only unlocks. And then for those who still want to get, those accommodations and stuff like that, here's an idea. How about decals? Like, different decals for the armor sets are the achievement thing.
Yeah, like a custom Jewel and Dama armor for the...
No, not quite. That's not quite what I was thinking. Like say, let's go with the ODST helmet. Like, basic ODST you buy. But if you get the accommodation, like, say, I don't know, you do X number of air assassinations, you get the ODST helmet that has the skull painted on it. Kind of war paint, because that's kind of how military men kind of... Like, since Halo always loves trying to be kinda, sorta similar to real military, that's how, higher-ranking members, both in terms of, organized militaries, like, the U.S. Marines, and more disorganized militaries, I can't actually think of any examples, but I'm sure they exist, they would, put decorations on the armor, rather than the armor itself being their, rank status. So, like, say, for Sangheili, maybe it's, like, war paint. Maybe it's having the sort of Sanghelio symbol on the helmet. Stuff like that.
Yeah. Or like the painted Didax hand on the chest piece or the side armor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. And so...
Shall we move along?
Yes.
Yeah, we need to wrap things up, so that's in general what we're hoping for. In regards to what we might realistically think happen, just take what we said in hopes and just lower the bar there. That's pretty much intuitive.
Yeah.
Right on the money.
Yeah, okay, that's the only time we allow any pessimism. Just take what we said, lower the bar.
Yeah.
You get one pessimist pass.
Yeah.
Use it well.
Alright, so now we get to the juicy part. Now we go to our community Q&A and community spotlight. So,
Yay.
as we're talking about the as we're answering the questions, our brilliant overlord Nakai he'll be having the different art pieces appear on the screen before you right now.
Yeah.
And all the links to the artists' Twitter or any other contact information, if you want to commission them especially, wink wink, will be in the description below.
Alright.
Although, would we also get the chance to maybe talk about the art later on? Sorry, just since I do like these pieces and I always love art. If we have time.
I'll be honest with you, I don't have the time to do that really.
Okay.
Gotta head out here soon.
Then we spent a little too much time on the infinite stuff.
Yeah. Hey, no, wait. Draco, let's do that in the Space Dinos mini-cast.
Yes.
All right.
Tease us for
And
that later.
we'll explain that to you folks much later when it actually comes out. Maybe. I don't know.
Hopefully.
Anyway, so we only have 5 people who ask questions because, beginning of the podcast, so we're going to be answering a couple of the different questions they asked to us. All right, so Rita Mogami asks, what got you into gaming?
First.
Honestly, I just grew into it. My parents got me a Game Boy Advance with the Spyro games in it, and yeah, I just started playing it.
For me, it was pretty much when my brother got like a PS1. He was playing like Jurassic Park, and I was watching him play, and I was like, "Holy crap, that's so cool!" But I didn't really got into full-on gaming until like I played like Halo 2, and when I first played that game, I was like, "Holy crap, I need to play this game!" And ever since I finished the game, I was like, oh my god, I love this game. I gotta play Halo CE and I was waiting for Halo 3. I was so pumped. And pretty much that's kind of the precursor to how my Covenant love flourished.
Yes. And for me, it was very similar to you, Nakai, with Halo 2, although I'll admit, my first ever game was actually, I got a Game Boy Advance and with Pokemon Silver on it. I found it in this like little old, I don't know, it was like a pawn shop almost. Yeah, and I was very little when I asked my parents to give me that. I played the crap out of that, and then I had this I forget who this childhood friend of mine was, but I remember just visiting his house one day and seeing Halo 2. And then just growing up, I would always visit his house and just play Halo 2 whenever I could, and eventually the other Halo franchise. And I didn't even get to own my own console until I was into my teenage years, because my family was broke. Yeah, but I would just always visit my friends to play their consoles and games.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's how I got into gaming.
And Urtita also asks, where and how do you know each other? Well, I think Nakai, it's pretty simple. Like we were, for Draco and I, we were fans of Covenant Canon for a while. We talked with him. We offered a voice act, and
begins a glorious partnership between the Kaidon, the Major, and the Science Nerd.
Hey, I'm a respected scientist, damn it!
Nerd.
Okay, Piccolo. But yeah, in all seriousness, actually, I do have to owe my thanks for joining Covenant Canon to another channel, Halo's Heretic. I remember seeing his work when he had Late Night Gaming do the Flood audio log. I liked seeing that, and I was like, and actually my my mother actually said, well, if you like him so much, maybe just try to ask if you can work for him. I was like, that's a good idea. So I offered him a chance. Then I got the chance to voice act as Jetto Ratum. And from there, Nakai found me, and now I'm in this whole family. Yay!
Yay, we are family.
Coming soon to theaters, Covenant Canon, the musical.
Alright, so then, now, Vien Quick Tom asks, what is your favorite part of the Sangheili anatomy? And I say it in that way because I know he makes a lot of those lewd jokes.
Yes.
Well, Vien, I'm gonna have to say... well, okay, no, he doesn't say it, but it has undertones. So, yes. I'm gonna say my favorite part of the Sangheili anatomy is the thumbs. Just thumbs.
Zygodactyl.
Thumbs.
Mine are the mandibles. And I love David's freaking animation of the Sangheili when shit elites say. He says, jaws aren't the only things we have four of.
And then he clacks his teeth, jaws, somehow.
The power of the Sangheili, my friend. These mandibles aren't the only thing that are flexible.
Okay, no.
Anyways, my favorite thing actually comes... I'm with Nakai on the mandibles, since, you know, you don't often see reptilian designs go with mandibles. And that's what I love. It's such a unique shape to it. I also will say, I like the design of the Halo Reach feet. Just the little bean toes.
Bean toes. Alright. So... and this will be the one I give a shout out to, but we have Dimitri ask us questions, and Dimitri, or... at Brown Queer Boy on Twitter. I'm sorry. Okay. Alright, dude, I'm just gonna say this once, dude, like, you know, that is your identity. Understandable. But my gosh, does it sound like you do lewd art.
No kidding.
I blame the Tumblr culture for making me think that. I totally blame the Tumblr culture.
We all do, Simmons. We all do.
But anyway, so yeah, Dimitri drew this beautiful piece that we have for our background. If Nakai could flash it, real quick so we can see it before we get to the other artwork.
Ah! I'm blinded by its majesty! Paralyzed! Dumbstruck!
Yeah, so he has quite a few questions, so and since we are kind of running low a little bit on time, I'll just go with I'll go with one that's a little bit more juicy. Anything in Halo you wish was handled better?
Dama in Halo 5?
Oh yeah, yep.
Sorry, no, deadpan.
Oh yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, so
answer as well.
Yeah. Okay, so besides that most obvious statement, we love you 343. My say would possibly be details and like logistic stuff in regards to the aliens. Like I understand the mindset that, you know, they don't want to really put anything in stone, because as soon as they put something in stone, that limits their creativity. However, especially with up until the current point in the timeline, I honestly don't see why there couldn't be more exploration in like, you know, the different societies and stuff of the aliens, because that is one of the things that is a big draw to a lot of sci-fi universes I've seen. Like, people will always, you know, seeing, you know, how the humans live and all that sort of thing is always interesting, but every single sci-fi, the major standpoint to them are the aliens. Exactly. That's what I think.
Hell.
Like, and from what I've, for one thing, like we see in like the Clone Wars, a lot of people's favorite arcs took place in like alien worlds. Like, it wasn't with, you know, Coruscant with the sort of monoculture human stuff.
The Senate.
But yeah, stuff like that.
I'm wearing a hood right now.
Like I do think there are some parts of the lore in regards to the aliens, particularly with the Sangheili and blood, which I swear I'm gonna do a big rant on that sometime down the line, that do make it a little bit more difficult to make anything really complex. But I don't see any reason why that couldn't happen. Like, we all love, the big stories of, epic space battles, this warlord leading grand armies. Well, let's face it, at the end of the day, war is just a game of friggin' logistics. And I love that detail.
Well said. Now, you can go ahead, Nakai. I'm sorry
Okay.
that I jumped the gun so soon with Jewel
Awkward
Dama.
silence.
Sorry,
Go
I'm
ahead,
sorry.
guys.
No,
Say what
I
you
agree
will
with
say.
you. I agree with you. Jewel and Dama was honestly, I thought that could have been handled better because since the Kilo 5 books, he's been like a major play, well, maybe not a major player, but a big player in the post-war Halo story arcs, and he was like the big bad for Spartan Ops, even though we didn't see him in the main campaign, and he was one of the main antagonists for the freaking Escalation comics. Yes. And I thought he should have had a better conclusion to his arc. I knew he was gonna die. That much I think we all knew, but I think the execution was awful. It was just, I would have
He was
preferred...
killed by a goddamn cardboard box.
No, he was killed in the first story. That's what pissed me off the most. And I thought he should have, the best sort of way to end off him and his Covenant was at Sunayan. I thought he should have died, if not by the Arbiter, by at least his forces, pretty much. Just a better way to say, hey, Jewel and Dama, you had a good run, but now it's time for the Creator to take over.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, a way
I
I
agree
would
with that.
like to see it.
Actually, Harispus, God, I love his work. But his Halo 5 analysis, I really liked the little thing that he wrote with Jewel and Dama, where it was just like he was just captured and was stuck with us in the weapons down missions. Then we can start talking to him for a second, and then as we go through, he finds out no, he's going to go after his sons. He's going to try and find them. He's going to try and redeem himself with that. And I would have loved that. I want to see the Umdama family. I want to see the Umdama family interact. Luckily,
Shame
did
we
get
never
that
saw that.
Yeah, although we do see that in Legacy of Onyx, which is why I love it so much.
But yeah,
Yeah.
You could have given Jewel and Dama. You could have given Jewel and Dama so much more character depth.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah. And you could have still gotten rid of him in Halo 5. And his Covenant's still disbanding.
Yeah.
Thing. For once, not every villain has to be defeated by his death. Make it, for once in Halo, the villain's choice to step back.
Yeah.
It
could have been a
Yeah.
change of pace.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Yeah, and then again, also, it leaves him alive for more character development in the future.
Yes.
Alright, aside from Jewel and Dama, the thing I miss Angry the most at is just the extra Covenant sects. That's what wish was handled better. I wish we saw more with the Banished in Halo Wars 2 and got sort of more of their story. I wish that Avumed Telkam was treated with respect and didn't die like a pansy.
Yes.
Yeah, I want all these other Covenants to, I wanted to see them progress. I wanted to see more of them and see where they could have gone more instead of just either killing them off or showing too little of them.
Yeah,
That's what I wish was handled better.
Yeah, they did something like that with the Keepers of the One Freedom in Retribution after, what's the name of that book?
First Light?
Yes. Last Light, I think it was, actually.
Yeah, Last Light.
It's one of the lights.
So,
It's one of these pretty lights.
close enough. But... Alright. Kaipo Noram says, what are your thoughts on the Sangheili ships used in the post-war era? I think unpopular opinion, I love them. They look different. They don't look like the Covenant ships we've seen in the past. They look more unique to the Sangheili. They look, though like the blockade runners look somewhat similar to the corvettes and the battle cruisers, respectively. I still think that they should have their own identity with Sangheili warships as to their shift from Covenant to independent Sangheili state, with the Swords of Sanghelios, for example.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're okay. I'm not a huge fan, but I don't dislike them either. I can see the potential in them.
My only issue is with some ships, specifically the Man of War. It feels like it just looks like it's a little too advanced for a ship that's meant to be like out of date. Ancient.
It looks a little too Forerunner, which kind of matches with its lore, but still.
Yeah.
I don't see.
Like-
kind of like.
I think
It looks like a Man of War jellyfish.
like on part. I think this is just kind of it's just kind of a trait of Armada. Like as creative design continues on today. That a lot of the stuff that was made back then will just kind of look little. It just won't look as advanced, and some of the stuff they make nowadays, because of that creative progression, will tend to look a little bit more advanced or on par with stuff that is supposed to be more. It's supposed to be more advanced than they are. I don't think they helped. Although, and to be fair, while we are given the general lore statement that they're designs, keyword designs of old Sangheili ships, we don't have. Maybe 343 is keeping an understatement thing in these are ancient designs, but these are new ships. But we're not telling you.
Curse you, 343, you lovable jerks!
My goodness, I realize that we've been bashing 343 quite a bit in this. Anyway!
Alright. Can I answer this question from Kel Wartum?
Yeah.
I need to.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. It needs to be done. Sent to us by Kel Wartum, although in actuality he is known as @EricDoom. Whom? Lovely artist, by the way. Hey, his question is, what is the battle cactus, and may I have access to it for definitely not maniacal purposes? So, in the lovely realm of Covenant canon lore, the battle cactus is one of Zukamari's few biological experiments. He's mainly focused on technological advancement, but there's those occasional days where he's just like, I'm gonna screw with biology next. And he was trying to study the effects of how a Spartan's augmentations helped out their strengths and mass. But the problem is he didn't have enough samples of his own, and he was just guessing. And unfortunately, one little spill later onto a cactus, and we've got a cactus the size of a scarab near Vodar. It is very deadly, can shoot its spines, and is overall kind of badass. The real world.
But don't worry, this isn't actually canon though. This is just kind of something. This is something Draco himself made up in a really fun Halo 5 map. It's even then it's a joke Phantom kind of thing.
Exactly. It's just in reality, it was when I first met Nakai, and then I just decided, hey, I'm gonna put down on a custom game, and I don't remember the creator of it. I'm sure I'll tell Nakai later, and then he can flash up some information for it on the screen. What can I say? But it was a crazy custom game where the infected sat in a giant cactus, and the survivors had to run in this small arena, avoiding to be shot by the cactus.
Oh yeah, I think I remember that now, actually.
And from there, it just evolved into a joke in our Discord, in our community, and in terms of you can have access to it, you may, if it doesn't eat you first.
Oh god, I don't even want to know what the heck this thing will do.
You don't. Have you seen The Evil Dead? That's my only warning for you.
Oh, goodness.
Alright, okay. Forgive me if I botch your name, but Kyva Moruni.
Kyva Moruni, one of our most loyal subscribers, and amazing artist,
person.
Yes.
I could go on singing her praises for ages, but yeah, let's go.
I would be in the chorus, baby.
Alright, so she asks, where did Kovu Hakat go? Oh, the ascetic from the Sangheili colony video? He's just hopping on Sangheili colonies, observing and gathering all sorts of info for next video.
Yes.
And also just waiting for Late Night Gaming to actually come back and voice him.
Yes.
Pretty much.
She also asks, what are your thoughts on the Sangheli separatists?
I wonder why they crossed over into Star Wars and used battle droids.
But if you're referring to the Separatists as the fleet of Retribution, I think that's the actual term for them. I don't think they've ever really been referred to as Sangheli Separatist in the lore.
It was mentioned within, like, I'm forgetting what it was, but I think it was during Bungie's time. There was, like, some sort of lore blurb that they were called Sangheli Separatists.
Yeah, but then 343 pretty much watched it aside and just go, hey, the fleet of
Fleet of Retribution.
Fleet of Retribution,
And then eventually becoming...
The Swords of Sanghelios. For me, on my part, I want to know the names of each of those ships that were a part of the fleet that came to Earth and all that. Like, we have the Shadow of Intent, we have Pious Inquisitor. I think there was one more named, but that leaves about, what, like 6, 7 more that aren't named?
Yeah. I would like to know more about the commanders that followed Artas Vadum after High Chair, the Ark, pretty much. After the Battle of the Ark, pretty much. I want to know what they've been like. I know some may have splintered off and done their own thing. Some have either joined the Swords of Sanghelios or something. But I would like to know more about the shipmasters that Vadum commanded. So, like, what did they do during the Covenant War? Where are they now? Pretty much, kind of sort of thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Alright, and I think that's all the questions we have for now, or all that we can answer. Of course, we'd be more than happy to answer any questions we didn't get to in the next podcast. And as always, if you want to see more, if you want to have your questions answered, either, ask us here on YouTube in the comments below, or hop in our public Discord, which is really fun, and we're trying to keep it alive.
Yes.
Please. I can only have so many test subjects before they're broken.
Oh, for crying out loud. Yeah, don't scare them away. Anyway.
I mean, yes. No test subjects needed.
Anyway,
you can also ask us at our DMs on Twitter, or just contact us on Twitter, because I really like fan interaction, and also, please, show, like, if you find fantastic art, or if you create fantastic art, or videos, just please let us know. Like, I am a man who has a fine taste for art. I'm a wine connoisseur of art. Please send us arts.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
That enough. Preferably St.
Yes, because
whatever.
Yes, because
no pathetic human art in our glorious covenant.
But in reality, we're probably not going to discriminate. We probably aren't. Like, we'll have a bias towards covenant stuff, but we're probably not going to discriminate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yet.
And there was one bit that we were submitted at last minute, was a really cool Forge map that Draco apparently was able to play through.
It's a lovely map.
Yeah, but unfortunately, since we're running short on time, like, I gotta go soon, we'll just have to wrap it up here. So, yeah, Nakai, if you would like to close us out?
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. Hopefully we'll be able to do more of these in the future, depending on whether or not you guys want to see more, or if you just like us doing our usual lore bits and our usual funny machinima skits at times. But until then, this is Nakai Vodar.
Oh shit, are we doing a bit?
Yeah.
Oh shit, yeah. Major Thesk Duram.
And Chief Scientist Zukamari Drakel.
Say